Listen, bartering with intangibles is foolishness. Why should anyone provide a service to help a business, but in return, all they'll get is a promise of more exposure? Now, I'm okay with bartering. I'm okay with bartering. Bartering is fine. There's nothing wrong with bartering. But when you're a business, why would you want to barter for an exchange of possible exposure? You definitely don't want to get into a place where you're consistently bartering with intangibles. If you're not going to make any money from the transaction, at the very least, you need something tangible. If it's not something that you can actually grab and touch, it needs to be measurable. There has to be a tangible benefit, because the thing is, when a business or an individual tries to barter with intangibles, most of the time they'll say, oh, well, don't worry, I have people who will see your work, and from that you will get more clients. Okay, that sounds good, but how do I know that's going to happen? How do I know that that is going to happen? I don't know. I'm just hearing a promise. But in the real world, promises do not pay bills. A promise isn't going to pay my rent. A promise isn't going to put food on my table. A promise isn't going to pay that electric bill. A promise isn't going to pay my car insurance. A promise isn't going to pay my credit card bills. Promises don't pay bills. A promise of possible exposure, we don't even know if this exposure is going to happen. But a possible exposure doesn't pay bills. Now, to briefly contradict myself, there are times where free work or bartering with, I guess what I would say is an intangible, is okay, and it could be beneficial, but that should be in the beginning stages when you are new, you're inexperienced, you're an amateur, whatever you want to call it. Do a few resume builders, and then from that point, if you can't get money, obviously money is the end goal. Money is what you want, because money is what pays the bills. At the very least, get a tangible benefit. If you provide a service that's beneficial to somebody, then that somebody needs to provide a service that's equally beneficial to you. Don't let somebody trick you into doing work for them or providing a service to you, and they get away with saying that, if you do this for them, it'll be seen by tens of thousands of followers or tens of thousands of people, and you will get clients from that. Sounds good. Sounds great. But that doesn't pay bills. That it's just the reality. It doesn't pay bills. The barter system's cool and all that, but it needs to be fair. It needs to be equal. It can't be on some okie doke shit. It has to be more absolute. Don't let people get off on this free exposure game, because that's what it is. It's a game. Especially if you're not a big corporation, if you're not well known, if you're just another small business out there, then you can't come with that whole free exposure or that possible exposure stuff. You can't do that. You might have a lot of followers. You might even have a big clientele. And if possible, yeah, whoever you're working with could possibly benefit from your base. That's a possibility. Anything's possible. However, you can't expect businesses to keep going for that. Whoever you want to work for you, you can't keep expecting businesses to go for that. And at the very least, if there is a business or an individual who does decide to work for free and not receive a tangible benefit, then you need to make good on your promise that more clients will come their way. At the very least, you need to do that. You make good on your promise. Just my 2 cents on bartering with intangibles. Personally, I don't think it's a great idea, but to each his own.